So you want to go to the beer museum, but you got kids, and you're wondering, is it worth the trip? Stick around and I'll show you how you can win on this trip.
Oh, so it can be in the photo.
The first thing to note about the beer museum is that it's super accessible, super easy to get to, whether you're taking public transit or you're taking a car and you're parking on site. We did the latter because we're used to being suburbanites, and so we didn't have any trouble finding parking. As you know, with kids come strollers and a bunch of stuff, and so we drove our cars, parked there, and everything was good from the get-go. Now when we pulled up on site, 2 of the 3 kids were getting cranky. Either they were getting hungry or tired, and so we kind of debated at the door, like, should we go in or should we not? So we walked around a little bit outside, and lo and behold, this happened. Kid number 1.
Diaper then.
Kid number 2 is in that stroller sleeping, and then the 3rd kid sleeping. So with 3 kids asleep, this was a no-brainer. We walked right in and took the elevator, went to the self-led tour. As you guys know, you did your research, there's a free tour and then there's a paid tour. Well, the paid tour is only in Japanese, so we were just up to the free tour and spent about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes there walking around. It's actually a pretty small gallery, the free tour. It's maybe less than 500 meters walking. It starts at the top floor and then you kind of walk down a spiral thing around a vat, and then there's maybe like, I don't know, 100, 200 meters of signs and lights and bottle displays that you can take pictures of. There's also a bunch of signs. While we were there, even though all the kids were sleeping, we wanted to get to the tasting room as fast as possible, so that's why I'm saying we took about 15 minutes. But if you like to read the signs, if you like to see where the barley and the hops come from and the history of everything, I would leave at least an hour, maybe even 2 hours if you want to read every single word and kind of see every single exhibit. But as I said, we were trying to rush to the tasting because that's what we wanted to experience. So it took us about 15 minutes in the actual gallery, and then in the tasting room we spent about 30 to 45 minutes. Priorities. So if you don't like drinking alcohol or beer, should you still come here? And that's funny you should ask, because I don't drink and I don't like beer per se. So did I still have fun? I did. I really enjoyed reading about one of the most famous beers in the world and kind of its history. And by the way, there is a non-alcoholic drink that you can only get on the island of Hokkaido, so I would definitely go to the source and try it out. It's pretty tasty. So I hope you make it out to the beer museum. It's a great place to go and just learn about the history of one of the most famous beers in the world. Take your kids. If they're sleeping, that's great. If they're not sleeping, you can just kind of jam right through the whole displays and things and then just go to the tasting room, and it's really loud there anyway, so. I mean, what could it hurt, you know? At the very least, if you're in Sapporo, you have to go and just walk through. If you just walk through without stopping, 10, 15 minutes tops. Hope this was helpful, and if you're wondering about anything else, leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm pretty active on it, and I'll be willing to help any questions that you have. This has been New Dads. It's a channel for fathers in the first 5 years of fatherhood. I love the father genre, and I love, you know, encouraging fathers to go out and travel with their families and their kids. And this channel is also for anybody with a soft spot for new dads, so if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing. Hope you have a great day, and talk to you guys on the next one.